what to keep in retirement. And what I've discovered is that unless it gives me peace and joy, it's not worth a bar of soap. Accumulating things during my life, as we all do, we live in a consumerized kind of world where we're encouraged to spend. That's how the world goes around, doesn't it? But unless I can take it with me when I pass this mortal coil, what good is it to me, really? So at this point in my life, I've been given the opportunity, because of my lifestyle now, to be more reflective and to consider what really means a lot to me. Learning to curb my reactions to certain situations and to become more mindful of how I react. Because I'm on a limited income, I have to really consider carefully what it is that I'm purchasing on a day-to-day basis. And all too often, I can be tempted when I'm going along and I see something that's triggered by nostalgia or whatever. I think, oh, I got to have it, got to have it. But I have to consider, because I live in a small space, how much do I really, really, really need that item? Because where am I going to put it? And every little bit of weight that comes into the vehicle it can be a problem, because if it gets over its weight, then it may not be allowed on the road. So there's another consideration for me to make. So what I'm doing is curbing my purchases to down to just the things I absolutely need, like food, clothing when I need it, not just because I like the colour of it. If something comes in, something has to go out. That's the motto. Now, my lifestyle affords me, as I said, to have a little bit more time on reflecting how I respond to the environment I'm living in. And my latest one is tolerance, lack of. Just like everybody, I'm sure. Um, I go out and just a visit to the supermarket and to get fuel is enough to push my levels of tolerance to the max. So what I've discovered though is that, just like myself, I go out into the world each day and I project a person that I can't see. I can't see from a three-dimensional point of view. And I think that I'm doing well. I'm driving well. I'm going about following the rules, doing everything that I think should be done without causing anyone any problems. But I am sure there are multiple people who would meet me during the day who might say otherwise. But I don't know. I can't see. I can't see me going about my day, but I sure can see everybody else. And with my critical eye, I can be judgmental and intolerant of certain people's actions. And those are the things that I've been learning about in the last week and a bit, is learning to control my intolerance. Now, the way I do that, and it may not work for everybody, but what I do is I become the observer. If I hear myself mumbling to myself about some situation, I become an observer. And I will say to myself, be tolerant, be tolerant. And I find that is enough to trigger myself to evaluate the situation and see it for what it is. It's someone else oblivious to me going about their day as they choose to live it. And the fact that it's not how I want to do something is nothing to do with them. It's me. It's all about me. And so therefore it's me who has to make the adjustment, not them. So what I'm really talking about is the trivial things, and they usually are very trivial, but they're enough to trigger us, aren't they? Like recently, I don't do it often. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I go to Burger King mainly because they give a really good discount on my gold card, which is for anyone over 65 in New Zealand. We get a gold card, and some businesses will give us a discount. Some of them it's only on a Tuesday, which is very inconvenient. But Burger King, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way and not sponsored, although I wish they would do, but they do give a good discount. I think it's something like, is it 15 or 20%, which I think is pretty good. And it's 24/7. But anyway, the other day I was driving through, getting myself some lunch because that's what I fancied. And I took out the gold card, which I have to show them, and my FPOS card. And I popped it on the seat beside me already. And as I'm going through the queue, I approaching the window and ready to pay. And I went to pick it up, pick the two cards up off the seat, and they sort of did a somersault, flicked around, and I could find the gold card, but I couldn't find the FPOS card. And I'm searching everywhere, and I'm approaching the window, and the young guy there, um, I gave him the gold card, and I said, "Look, I'm sorry, but I can't find my FPOS card." And he goes, "It's in your bra." And I looked down, and sure enough, it had somehow gone in and slipped in. It was actually wasn't in my bra; it was actually in the top. But bless him, he went bright pink in his cheeks. But I just laughed because there I am dithering. The people behind me are thinking, "Look at that stupid old woman." They're in a hurry. They're in their lunch break. They're trying to get back to work, and I'm dithering because I've got my blooming FPOS card stuck in my top. But it was funny. So anyway, what I'm trying to say, that just reminded me of it when I was talking about myself becoming an old nuisance, holding people up in shops. And I don't realise it. I don't see it as a problem. So therefore, I have to be considerate of the other people. I don't know their history. I don't know their backstory. They could be, you know, having a really bad day, and not as bad as mine. Mine wasn't bad having that incident, but I was panicking because I couldn't find my FPOS card. I knew it had to be in the car. I hadn't got out. So the bottom line is that you cannot take with you when you go all the things that you own. They're just here for comfort and to keep you alive, basically. What's really, really important is how you feel, what you've learned on your life travel, your life journey, and learning to cope, learning to go through a day feeling optimistic and hopeful and not having any fears, just going through life, enjoying. You can't enjoy it 24/7. It's just not possible because it's like anything in life. It's an up and down life cycle. You can have good days, you can have bad days, and you can have good moments and bad moments. But it's coping with the bad moments and moving forward with optimism and not fear. That's what's important. And when we go, those experiences will be what goes with us, not everything else that I've collected over the years. So the moral of the story is this: we don't have to keep anything really for our retirement. What we need to be focusing on more is self-improvement and better being able to better enjoy our lives on a day-to-day basis. Because at the end of the day, that's what's really, really important. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this time with me because I've really enjoyed having you here sharing this moment in time with me. and I really, really appreciate you. So thank you. And I hope you've had a good week so far. It seems the weather around all around the world seems to be um, pretty much the same. We're having severe storms and floods. People have lost their lives, and it hasn't been much of a summer for a lot of people. So, if you're suffering in any calamity at the moment, my heart goes out to you, and I hope things improve really, really, really soon. So, until next time, enjoy the day that you have and the day tomorrow. And I'll see you again next time. So until then, bye for now.